The XUV700 is a brand new platform, and the company says the new monocoque is 80% stiffer than the XUV500s, thanks to an increase in the number of spot welds and adhesive bonding. Mahindra has worked hard to reduce weight, with the XUV700's monocoque frame using quite a bit of lightweight high-tensile steel and other weight-saving measures like lighter engines, which weigh around 70 kilograms less than before. Overall curb weight ranges from 1,960 kg minus 2,040 kg, which is still heavy, but it takes into account the additional equipment and safety features the XUV700 is loaded with. Interestingly, the rear tailgate is made of composite plastic that's aimed at weight reduction. However, this could pose a practical problem because, unlike sheet metal, which can be easily repaired if damaged in an accident, the plastic tailgate may need to be replaced if you are rear-ended. Like with the XUV500, the platform is configured for front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options. Although this time round, it is designed to accommodate a 48-volt mild hybrid system as well, which could come in the future. Mahindra XUV700 engines. The petrol and diesel engines on offer get both the 6-speed manual and automatic gearbox options. While the XUV500's 155 horsepower diesel carries on only in the base version, higher variants get a more powerful version of the 2.2-liter MHOC unit that cranks out 185 horsepower. This makes the XU700 diesel the most powerful in its class, ahead of the Hyundai Alcazar, with its 115 horsepower, 1.5-liter diesel, and also the Hector Plus and the Safari, which use the same 170 horsepower 2.0-liter Fiat-sourced diesel engine. The XUV700 styling is a mature evolution of the XUV500, with cleaner lines and a more balanced look. It sits lower than its predecessor by 30 mm, comes with a muscular bonnet, and a strong new grille with twin vertical bars, which gives it a lot of road presence. A nice touch is the way the outside vertical bars bend and flow into the headlight cluster. Making its debut on the XUV700 and sitting proudly in the center of the grille is Mahindra's new Twin Peaks logo, which interestingly will only adorn the automaker's SUV range. The profile is perhaps the cleanest side of the new car. Gone are the numerous rear wheel arch lines and the odd cheetah paw handles. In their place are flush door handles that pop automatically when you approach the car. Very cool and handy to use too, though mid versions require you to push the handle to pop it, while the base variant will have a little cumbersome click to unlock, key push to pop, and then pull to open action. At the rear, the arrow-shaped taillights are striking, but the design feels like it belongs to another car. It is an example of the lack of consistency and cohesiveness in the styling, which still has too many fussy elements like the disproportionately long DRLs and the excessive sculpting of the wheel arches that dwarf the 18-inch wheels. Mahindra XUV700 Interior. The interior design is more straightforward, and taking center stage is a display panel that stretches across half the dashboard. This Mercedes-like tablet houses a central touchscreen and an all-digital instrument panel, both measuring 10.25 inches. It looks very premium and will be a big hit with consumers. Best of all, it is offered on all versions except the base, which will get a smaller 8.0-inch infotainment unit and a 7.0-inch instrument cluster. The dashboard plastics are pretty good and the leather strip looks quite premium, but what is tacky is that instead of extending into the door pads, the beige leather finish gives way to a wood finish that looks cheap and artificial. Also tacky is the piano black glossy finish. Overall, the fit, finish and material quality, though pretty good, have some rough edges. Mahindra has mercifully retained buttons and dials for HVAC controls, and while the cluster is a carry forward from the 500, it's still welcome. The rotary controller on the center console means you don't have to use the screen for everything, and there's also a neat-looking bank of toggle-like switches for some key functions. A real clever touch are the two shelves in the central consoles for two phones, one of which is a wireless charger. In today's smartphone era, convenient storage for two phones is perhaps more important than cup holders, which are also present on the console behind the gear lever. Mahindra XUV700 features. The steering wheel feels nice to hold, and the buttons, though not slick to operate, give access to a lot of functions. The jazzy instrument panel has cheerful color schemes and perhaps more sober graphics and fonts would have been in order, but the information is incredibly rich and there are many customizable options for both screens. The XUV700 also debuts Mahindra's new Adreno X Informatics system, which is the most advanced and feature-packed infotainment system in not just its class but also in several classes higher. It is crammed with features and options, and even has some built-in local apps like Just Dial and Zomato. However, there is a problem of plenty. The segregation and layering of the menu needs a lot of work and it's not really intuitive and easy to find out where things are. You end up toggling with the switches and fumbling with the menu and sub-menus, which doesn't bring you back to the same function when you leave it. The infotainment operation though is still in beta stage, so we'll reserve comment on how slick it is and how well it functions when the system is finally ready in time for the launch. The XUV700 also signals Mahindra's entry into the premium sound arena, with a superb Sony 3D audio system that uses a 13-channel amplifier powering 1 subwoofer and 12 speakers, including 4 in the roof. Then there's Alexa Voice Assistant, and the XUV700 is the first car to come embedded with it, which makes a separate connected device not mandatory. Alexa is also integrated into the full connected car experience, so you can also ask for alerts and updates about your car right from your home. Other interesting bits include a powered driver's seat with door-mounted switches, inspired by Mercedes' dual-zone climate control with an air purifier system, and connectivity options that include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.